everyone. Welcome to yet another exciting episode of TokeMoments. We're still in the month of March, and you know how I feel about women. I'm very passionate about women. I love being a woman. If I could come back to the world again, regardless of all the craziness, which we will be talking about today on the show with my guest, I think I would still come as a woman. Beauty Tukura is my guest. Hi, Beauty.
Hi, Toke.
How are you?
I'm good.
So, quick story. I like to give my audience a story.
Okay.
Never met her, never spoken to her till I hosted Rubbing Minds, and she was a guest on Rubbing Minds. And she was just so brilliant and just so articulate. And I just thought, there's so much to what we see on the gram. We see our beautiful pictures. And I was Big Brother in season when I don't think the Boss.
No, the Boss wasn't. It was.
It was? Did I say nasty things about you?
You finished.
No. I remember. I remember, Beauty. I actually was a fan. I loved you so much.
But
I think when that thing that happened, I was so heartbroken because I was like, but I still blame the men because I'm always going to blame men for everything they do to us women. All our problems start with them. Menstruation, mental illness.
Heartbreak.
The heartbreak men is not there. But what other thing do you find men in when we talk about women? Even when you say women, men is involved.
To be honest, men are always the headaches. They are the problem.
I think so. But how are you?
I'm good.
You look so stunning.
Thank
Happy
you.
International Women's Month because that's, the month of March, regardless of if the day has passed.
You too. I'm so beautiful. I'm so fabulous. I feel good.
I love that. And I love how well put together you are.
Thank you.
You're from the North. I'm sure a lot of people know that. And a lot of Northern women are seen to be very conservative, very
I have that side though.
You've broken all the rules. Girl, you are in pageantry twice. And then you also went on a reality TV show, which is not, again, we're breaking those barriers and breaking those misconceptions. And who makes those rules? But did you meet any resistance when you wanted to go into like pageantry and all that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, even my own family, they were a bit skeptical. But over time, they saw the vision and then they got on board. But where I'm from, it's not like something we do all the time. When you say you want to go for pageantry, they associate it with prostitution. You want to go and put yourself out there. But it's on you to redefine what it means and show it, not just by saying it, like your actions. And I think I've walked the walk, to be honest. And I've tried to put, Northerners in a good light so far.
So are your people happy with you?
Yeah, of course they're happy with me.
I love that. Because I don't know much about the North. I had Northern friends growing up. And one thing I realized, I had a friend, Jumai, shout out to you. Jumai ever watches these pizzas? I remember when we were in school, Jumai she was my closest friend who was from the North. And she just never had way of thinking was way different from
everybody else.
Like Jumai never had, like when I talk about boyfriends cheating, she never had anything to say.
She could not relate.
Because she's like, where I'm from, they groom us when we are young to
be wives.
Yeah,
right? And to be honest, like with me, I have very small dating experience. Like I haven't dated a lot of men. It shows, in the way I be handling in and out of the relationship.
Girl, we're going to get to all of that. But because, Beauty, Mm-hmm.
So, that they train you to be a wife.
Yeah.
There's the whole mentality of you have to get married a virgin and keep yourself. So a lot of us are not really we're not thinking men or boyfriends. But if you're fortunate and you have understanding parents, education, they'll give you the basic education and see you through your education and school and all of that. So I think the mindset for us is not always relationships because I think it's recently that you see Northern girls post boyfriends, take boyfriend pictures, do all these cute things. We only post our husbands. Yeah, because there's no time for you to be in and out of relationships.
And they matchmake you guys a lot, right?
Yes, they do.
Because I remember Jumai always said to me, I think she already had a husband as we were in school.
I've had many husbands. I just didn't marry them.
And then if you think about the modern day dating and how, it was done and it's still done in certain areas, because you guys are very conservative. Northerners like to marry themselves versus that. It's very rare for you. They have cases where some of them marry inter-tribe, but most times it's usually, and I feel like sometimes you guys also marry your cousins. It's allowed, right?
Well, maybe extended.
Okay.
It could be a family relative, but a lot of people have stopped immediate cousins and stuff like that. But you could still see situations where there's a marriage between maybe another family.
So most women who are from the north are also almost open to polygamy, right? Because the religion, if you're Muslim, accepts that. Another thing from my friend who would always, like every time I had a boyfriend and I was heartbroken about something, the way she saw things was always different, right? So if I say he's cheating on me, she's like,
why? Why is it
no,
cheating?
so you want to leave him because he's cheating. And I'm like, hell yeah, girl.
Well, I can say a lot of northern women are like very traditional women.
Okay.
Because the culture there is very strong and dominant and it's reinforced. You know, generations come and go, but it's the same message. Like you have to be this way, you have to cover up, you have to do this, you have to do that. So, I mean,
there's that, and then there's now you who's living life on your terms. Like, do you ever get to a point where, you have to constantly defend yourself, or is it one of those things where? Because I know there's like a whole thing about covering up, and there's a whole thing about not just from the north. Nigerians they find a way to attribute nudity to just being moralless or being mannerless. And I'm like, just because someone's not wearing any clothes, they might be the best or the goodest girl, quote unquote. And the ones who cover up, who tie their hair, might be the ones that get up to the most surprising and shocking things.
You'll be shocked to your bone marrow.
I know, but then you just coming out and saying, I'm going to go on a reality TV show.
Yeah.
And, I know you have the backing of your family, but were you ever worried that, what if all these Western boys does not work with them? Would I still find a northern husband?
Yes, of course. I was worried 100%. Like, I didn't even, to be honest, I didn't want my parents to watch, but they still watched. I had the first pool party, where bikinis, right? They said my mom almost collapsed. I was like, hey, God, let me not keep my mother. But you see, it's relative, because for me, I think the message is dress according to the occasion. That's one thing I try to do.
Yeah.
You won't see me wearing bikini to a corporate event or to something religious. Like, I try to dress, but if I'm at the beach, I'm allowed to relax. I'm not saying... Me relaxing is not me promoting nudity. It's just me being in that very moment. So I think the message is allow women dress according to the occasion and be fine with it. Because at the end of the day, they bash us Nigerian women, but they celebrate all the international women doing the exact same thing, even when the occasion does not demand it. How about that?
Girl, don't even get us started on that. You find out they'll come and say she's naked all the time, dress your age, did this, did that. And then you see Cardi B, or you see Khloe Kardashian, or you see someone, and the people who are chatting shit are the ones liking lovely, good. So is it
I see them in the comments all the time. That's why I like Instagram. Even if they don't comment, you see the likes. You see, I'm like, Ariana, what are you doing?
Do you think it's a self-hate thing? Because we come from being a woman. I mean, the month of March, I personally feel like we don't have enough occasions where we celebrate ourselves. I think there needs to be more.
But men would argue that they are always celebrating women and they don't have enough days for men.
Right? Men do whatever you need to do about it. But for women, because women go through so much. And also being Nigerian and being African, like we don't even understand how the mentality eats deep into our subconscious. For instance, just what you touched on, just the wanting to be accepted and wanting to play a certain role because society has said that this is the only way.
Even for me, it took my mom a very long time before she was comfortable with us wearing bomb shorts. Just shorts. Not even bomb. Shorts. Right? Like, she would get us long skirts. But I've always been a rebel, sort of.
Me too.
Like, growing up, I'm the child that would tell her... There's something I used to tell my mom. I'm like, it's not about you buying me these things and I go to school and I don't wear it. Anything I'm wearing in school, I want you to be able to see me randomly and you're still proud of me. So just let me express...
Did you get into lots of trouble growing up?
No, funny how, even with my strong character, I was still like a perfect child in terms of academics and everything. I was an A1 student all through.
Brilliant.
So that was the balance. Okay. Because I always tell people there must always be a balance. Like, you can't just be this and then you're causing disappointments. You need to make your parents happy in some way. You can't be their headache all around. It doesn't make sense.
So what
there
about
was
boys
a balance.
growing up? Were you because...
Nah, I didn't really care about boys, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow,
I started
so
dating from university. And the first guy I dated him for 3 years. And I took him home. My parents knew him. His parents knew me. It was proper. Because that's... Why are you surprised?
No, just university?
Yeah.
Okay.
We dated for 3 years. Guess what? That was supposed to be my first husband. That's who I would have married.
Is he from the north?
No, funny how he's a Yoruba guy.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Comes from
There's
Ibadan.
so many things that you get to know about people when you sit here. Now, it's so funny how everyone who sits here, somehow, there's some history that, we've somehow shared.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, and I remember last year, I ran a campaign with your boyfriend. And I remember how that campaign...
I'm single.
Well, we're ex-boyfriend. And I remember how that campaign ruffled a lot of feathers even on Twitter. And there was conversations about it being inappropriate. And I thought, I hope Beauty doesn't hate me or think anything of it.
No, it's never that deep.
I thought so too. No. Well, again, that's what we talk about Nigerians, right? Because I was looking through Twitter and when I knew you were going to be my guest, and I could remember people saying things like, oh my God.
Oh, you checked?
Of course, you were coming in here.
I don't check.
No, because I was sitting with you. Okay. I did a bit of, obviously just researching to see about apartheid. And I remember a lot of people, and I think I also feel the narrative because I think I tweeted something like, we must share him or Beauty and I must share this. And I'm just trying to promote my products, right?
I think Toy Lawani even made a comment. She said, don't let Beauty catch you.
Oh, something funny. And the Nigerians like to blow things out of proportion. So I remember that one. And I was like, okay, I know that our paths crossed. And then, you and Neo seem to be, I know you guys are no longer together, but you guys were like the Ken and Barbie.
We were Rihanna and ASAP when you lasted.
And you were so public about that relationship.
Because it was a beautiful relationship when it lasted. So, there was nothing to hide. I was happy being with him at the time. So,
Would you do that? Would you date publicly like that again?
Honestly, no.
Okay. What are the pros and cons to it? Because you hear people say things like, low key, but not a secret, right? I can be dating someone, we can be private.
Yeah,
but I don't want to be a secret because you know that men also thrive on, or some men rather thrive on this
secrecy.
Yeah,
they cheat on you.
Double lives or triple lives out there. Mm-hmm. So where do you draw the line with, a publicized relationship and a private one?
Before now, all my relationships have been private.
Okay.
And I think it's just better because when it's private, there's no extra opinion, But when you have a public relationship, it's like we are plenty. We are a lot in the relationship. There's his family, there's my family, and then there's the whole world in it.
And you guys have a fan base as well. From
exactly, and Big Brother, this fan bases, they're very passionate.
Yeah.
So it's a whole different approach. They don't. Sometimes it'll be easier if they see things as black and white, normal, because at the end of the day, we're normal people, right? We're just out there. But they don't treat it like that. They hold you to certain level of expectations. And when those expectations are not met, it's the other way. You get backlash, criticism and whatnot.
Do you think they add more pressure to the relationship?
Yes, now in capital letter, there's pressure. Because at the end of the day, there's literally no privacy. They're watching you. In fact, it's as bad as you go somewhere, make a snap. If you tag someone, for example, I tag you now, they'll be following your snap the whole night just to see if they can catch you or your partner doing something. So they're that invested. And of course, it comes with a lot of pressure because you have to watch everything you do, everything you tweet, how you talk about him and just everything basically. So there's a lot of pressure. Do you feel like even
when you guys break up, to grieve the relationship is hard because of the public, expectations? Yeah,
that's the mental part that we don't talk about a lot.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, it takes an emotional toll on you. Like, I'm out of a relationship. I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to move on. But then I'm reading all these hot takes. At what point would you let me sit with myself and process everything that has happened and how to move forward? So, of course, it has its own mental issues when you're looking at all the, the backlash, the tweets and all those many
But you guys
opinions.
As public as your breakup were you as public with the breakup as you were with the relationship? Do people know you guys have broken up?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's because I crashed out a little.
Girl, what did you do? Would you go on Twitter?
No. I'll never do that. I'm not that type of person. But, I just had a little crash out where I said, please delete my picture.
Oh, did you do that publicly?
Yeah.
You wrote that publicly?
No, the thing is, I wrote it and then I deleted it. But then I think someone cut it. So,
Yeah. Do you regret that?
Honestly, I don't regret anything I do too. I mean, I'm a human being. At the time, I was crashing out, and that's what it is.
And I think regret is so exhausting.
Yeah, what am I
tell people,
regretting for? Like, I'm this is my life. And no offense, whether I do it right or I do it wrong, they're still going to have something to say about it. So I may as well just do me.
That's such an excellent attitude to have. And you're so mature, like even with, the way you view life and the way you think about things. Because in the end, like it or not, with the fan base, with Big Brother or businesses you launch, this is your life and there's no do-over.
With these people, you can never be right or wrong.
Yes.
Because even in a situation, there's still someone who's happy about it and there's someone who's insulting you about it. So you're looking at it like, okay, so where's the balance? That's why you have to always do what makes you happy at the end of the day. Because after your matter, they are going on to the next person that is messing up immediately to go and talk about that person. They're in the business of talking about people. So you can't take it too seriously.
I know. But do you think you guys can ever come back together? Like, never say never. You know how people can break up. Ashanti and Nelly. Now, that's one spinning of the block.
I actually like that relationship.
That made sense to me. Yeah. And it took how many years? If they told Ashanti 20 years ago that Nelly was going to be her husband and she'll have a kid with him, I'm sure she would have spat in the person's eye.
I know.
But you never know. They're together and they're married. So do you guys think that you guys can possibly find yourselves again?
So the reason why we broke up, I think it was valid.
Okay.
So for now, really, I have no opinion. For me, I'm just focused on, moving on. I'm not even interested in men right now, to be honest. I just want to focus on myself because sometimes when you go into relationships, whether you like it or not, it almost feels like time lost, especially for us women. That's what a lot of men don't understand. Men can decide to wake up and get married at 30, 35, 40, or do whatever they want at any time. But as a woman, it's still part of the whole societal expectations, that they require of you to walk a certain way, do things at a certain time. So it's relationships, going in and out of relationships is a time waster for women.
It drains you.
It drains you, exactly. Mentally. So there's no point. At this point, I'm just waiting for my husband.
Girl,
any man I'm posting next is going to be my husband.
Baby, I was saying to someone this morning, we're talking about relationships as well, and I was like, I don't know about you, but even talking stages now exhaust me. Don't ask me what's my favorite color. I don't want to share. Like, don't ask me, babe, how are you? That question even irritates me.
I think that's the worst part of breakups, going back to the talking stage, where a lot of guys are now lined up in your DMs, lined up physically. They are just trying their luck. Yes, now. Sometimes.
I don't know how to do that.
I keep it civil though. I'm not so much of a flirty person. Yeah. If I like you, you'll know. If we get to that stage, we get to that stage. But I like to keep it very civil because I really need to know where your head is at. I don't
even answer people when... No, let me tell you why. Because I feel like I'm so scared. We live in a generation that is crazy and everyone's always looking for their 5 minutes of fame. And it's mad. You find where people are leaking conversations online recently, where nothing is private anymore. And you don't know who is who, right? So for the men that I see that always I don't even look at them because they scare me. Because I'm like, chatting with you might be screen grabbing my messages and tomorrow.
And that's why you keep it very... So let me give you an example. Hi, hello. Oh, how you doing? I'm good.
Just randomly?
Yeah.
I would never.
It's just you being civil. I think of it like networking. Because I'm in the business of meeting people every day. We go for events, we meet people, we network. So I talk to you like I'm just... networking. It's because for real, I'm not about to just reply your DM and say, oh, I love you. I've always liked you.
But I think they will not ask for my number and then that just scares me. I'm just like, I don't want to talk to you.
So if they ask for your number, you can be like, we could talk here. I don't like calls. I don't like messages.
Because they can screen grab my message. I don't even want to talk. I'm like you, actually. Thank you. You're my motto for 2025. And that's just, are you going to be my husband? If not, move on. I don't want to talk.
My headspace is in a place where if you say hi to me, and I honestly know that I can't have anything to do with you, I don't even proceed with it, right? I just be cordial and I leave it there. But, if I'm feeling you a little, I could just hi back.
Are you open to letting a guy know that you like him?
Before. Yes.
I think my trauma has told that side of me. I don't know how to, Beauty.
Before, yes.
Because let me tell you what scares me the most about this generation, right?
Even if I like you, like I want to die. Is it like you?
You know what's so scary about the men in this generation? They act like princesses. most of them want to be chased.
They're queens.
I'm like, you see a man that's playing phone tags with you. I'm just like, I don't have time for all
Or is it the
this.
one that is dragging with you? You know how you can just be like, Shakara, oh, I won't call my man. And he
It
won't
will
call you
call.
too. That's the worst, though. That's the worst.
And then you're like, why haven't you called? It's like, why didn't you call me?
Like, who's meant to be
Baby,
doing the chasing?
I miss those days when you stand outside my door with a boom box on your shoulder.
I miss those days when men email, when you block a man and they're sending you emails.
Girl, I miss the days where they write love letters, emails, write handwritten letters. And then they spray with perfume and say hi from the streets of beauty. I love, like...
Or they show up to your house unannounced
You
and
know
then you
what I
now
mean?
do small shakara.
Although a guy did that with me last year, showed up to my house unannounced, and it frightened me more than I was welcome because I was just like, I hope you're not a stalker too. What if I had another man up here? Like, is that how you literally roll
Now
up?
you just show up and put me in trouble because that one won't understand.
No, but honestly, I worry about people. I mean, it's exciting when I see couples online and I see relationships and I'm just like, oh, must be nice. But this generation,
Don't get me wrong.
crazy.
I'm a lover girl. I love love.
What's
and
your
when I
zodiac
see Libra.
Okay.
And when I see all this love content, I appreciate it. But my problem is this generation, I think the real issue is a lot of people are not ready for two things: commitment and accountability. They just...
You better preach, girl.
According to my Gen Z, generation, they call it vibes.
Inshallah.
Men these days, they just want to vibe and inshallah. And, it doesn't make sense because it's just rinse and repeat. That's what's happening, especially in this Lagos. It's just rinse and repeat.
Girl, I'm picking words from her. She's like rinse and repeat. And it's so true because everyone who's talking to you is talking to somebody else. That's the part that even just puts me
I
off.
said, what's the joy of being with somebody if you want to still talk to multiple people?
And if you want that, just say from the beginning,
Because
right?
really, you don't know if the other person may just be wanting the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But then when you come serious, and the person is meeting you with a serious energy, try and respect that. And I don't know, I just feel like boys these days, really, they just want to play. And they're looking at, no offense, there are not a lot of men that are leaving the kind of examples that should be left. So who are they, looking after?
models?
Who are they emulating? Who are they
I
role
still
models?
think that it boils down to what we're talking about women in terms of the pressure on women is so much. We're under the pressure of raising these kids, raising these boys. Like in some homes, you find out that they raise the girls more than they even raise the boys because the mother is, focused on sit right, close your mouth while you're eating, wash the dishes, look after your brothers. And the guys just have
My mom fought me because I wake up late. Growing up, we fought one time, seriously, because I will not wake up by 6 a.m. Now, the question is, what am I waking up by 6 a.m. to actually do? Why should I be the only one waking up by 6 when your boys are sleeping? These are the issues. But I'm happy because I see things changing now. I mean, kudos to a lot of parents now. I can see that parenting has changed now in a lot of ways, even from social media, just scrolling on your phone. You can see that women
fathers
are
are a bit more involved in our generation. Because
Yes.
in our parents' generation, there was a lot of fathers bringing home the cheddar and leaving women to do all
to
the
do
raising.
everything else.
The PTA meetings are full of women.
The errands,
School drop,
the grooming,
full of
everything.
women. Do you know what I mean? And then you now wonder why men walk around and feel like they're the prize because they had sisters look after them. They had mothers nurse on them. They had grandmothers praying on them.
Even
They-
till this day, there are some men that have their mothers and sisters in their ears, making them feel like,
I can never
they're
date a
next
man
to
who
God.
is
So-
baby. I have a rule. No, because it's happened to me before. I dated this one
some
guy.
women are enablers.
Yeah. I
They
agree.
enable the bad characters that we see.
Do you know what Yoruba call those sort of mothers?
What?
In Yoruba, we call them Awon Iya Oni Bonvita. Let me explain them to you. Let me explain. These are the mothers that follow their boyfriends to have their sons to have 5 girlfriends.
But that's nonsense. If
These
you
are
ask me.
it has happened to me before. I had this guy who I was dating, and ask me how I met his mother.
How?
You roll on this floor.
Please
So
give me gist.
we're talking one morning. I was like, baby, mom is calling me. So I was like, okay, I'll call back. Next thing, you just add her to the call. I'm not even
No
wearing a
proper
wig. So I'm like,
introduction, nothing.
No, she's like, baby, why are you hiding? Let mommy see you now. So I'm like, good afternoon, ma. Do you know what this man did? He's like, okay, mommy, I have to go to work. Meet your daughter-in-law. You guys talk and bye. And he dropped the phone and left me and his mother on the call. I'm not even like, flesh and blood cannot make this up.
That's crazy.
And I was like, good afternoon, man. She's like, oh my God, I'm such a fan. I watch you on TV. Oh, I love you. This, that. And through that relationship, she was my best friend. The day the boy stopped liking me, I never I never heard from her.
So I do myself a service. I just delete the numbers.
She never called me one day. I'm actually hurt. I think I need to see my therapist about it.
I think
apart from my son
on.
emotionally abusing me, Shame emotionally abused me too. Because all through our relationship, she would call and be like, you guys don't fight. If you have any issue with him, call me. You know, in our family, we're very close-knit. She would even say to me, hope you don't mind that I keep calling a lot. You know, please don't mind. Though Valentine's Day, she was trying to reach her son. She called my phone.
So what happened when she was needed? Where did she
Baby, when the day the boy left me, I never even got my daughter. Normally when she sees me on TV, I'll get it. My daughter, you look really nice.
You got crickets.
Cricket!
They need to insert the sound. Cricket. Graveyard silence.
Oh.
It happens. It be like that sometimes. So there's something my mom says to me all the time. She would tell me, there's no parents that will support you over their own.
Oof.
The more you understand that, the better it is for you. The prayer is for you to marry into a home that, you know, they can say right is right and wrong is wrong. Because for me, that's kind of home I come from. Mm-hmm. There are times when my sister-in-law, once they just complain, like they've not even finished complaining, we're already calling my brothers, and everybody's putting them on blast, like, what's up?
And that's who I am. Like, I don't even want to know my brother's girlfriends. I'm not nice to them, not because I'm a mean person, but because until he comes forward to say, this is who I want to marry, I shall not be a part of a narrative where a girl can say, and the family used me.
No, but the thing again is, most of these guys will actually take you home.
Yeah, but they're bringing 4 or 5 girls home. That my brothers know me. In all my family members, I know anyone that's watching this, they know in all of my siblings, all my brothers know that I am not the one to call. To lie for you.
Yeah.
I am not the one to call to say I was at your house.
It doesn't make sense.
I'm not going to do it, right?
Yeah.
So they don't even involve me. Maybe there's another sibling they can, because me, I just wouldn't talk to your girls unless, if I know my brother is playing you, I can never be friends with you. I would probably tell you.
Yeah.
Like, why are you dating me?
This happened to me, a real life story. One of my ex then, he was expecting his brother to lie, but I don't think he told the brother about the lie beforehand. Yeah. And that one just, sold him out. And that's how I caught him.
Yeah. I also dated a guy who, God bless his family, whose sister also was very honest with me. She looked me in the face and said to me, why are you dating my brother?
Why are you disturbing me? Please, I'm sleeping. I was like, oh, this person said he's sick. Are you with him? What's going on? He just said, please, he's in Lagos. I'm telling you.
Oh, God bless those kind of family members.
He just said, please, he's in Lagos. Stop stressing me. And he ended the call. I said,
And if you want to stay.
My shock, I was like, hey.
Yeah. If you want to stay. If you want to go.
Because at that point, he's over it. Like, why is his brother lying unnecessarily?
But I find it deeper when mothers stoop so low to get into those games. There are mothers who know all their sons' 5 girlfriends. And if you're one of those mothers and you're watching, stop it today. Honestly, stop it. Because you have a daughter, right? And imagine how you will feel when your daughter is on the receiving end of such. Like, it's okay for you to tell your son, as long as I'm the one paying the bills in this house, don't bring different girls home. Yeah. Unless you're sure. If you want to be a big baller, shakola, rent an Airbnb and take your girlfriends to. The one we want to meet is the one that we are sure. And if we see another girl, we will ask questions like, who is this person? And we'll all be unwelcoming towards the other girl to the point that she would know that, listen, this is not
for
your guy,
real. Like, this
right?
is...
Because it's hard being a woman as it is. I feel like men get away with so many things.
Being a woman is hectic because, like, if we really talk about this topic, it's hectic. You can meet a man, for example, and you have something important that you want to do, but the first thing they're thinking in their head, even if you're wearing a hijabi, is to get under your pants. So on a daily basis, you have to, as a woman, you have to be stronger than normal. Like, you have to be more assertive. Like, you need to be more self-aware so that they don't chop your eye clean and leave you in the dark.
And you know what's so funny? When they get away with it, the world hails the men. I find it rather disturbing that a man will come and say, I'm only with that girl because of her figure. Or when a man wants to describe what he likes about a woman, it's like, see her now. Can't you see how she sets die? Do you get? And the world is like, yo, bro, like, yo. But as a woman, if I came out and said, look at him now, can't you see the amount of money he has?
You know, there was a time I almost argued that a lot of men, I don't think a lot of men like intelligent women. I think they prefer when you're just full of vibes and inshallah, because it makes them feel better than you. Once you're intelligent and you can meet them, part to part, you can have conversations, and you are so self-aware that they can't just,
I think it's that self-aware thing.
Yeah,
it's twist your.
They don't like it. It's a serious barrier because they're used to, like I said, some women to enable these things. There are girls that they can be with a guy, but they're so myopic. They just want the basic things. They don't even want to have intelligent conversations, nothing. They just
like material things.
Yeah, I'm not saying material things are bad, but I mean, that should not be all that there is to you as a woman. You should want.
But I also feel
more.
like, I don't mean to coach, I also feel like that's also us putting pressure on women, because when men are like that, the world congratulates them. You find men who would tell you they're only dating this girl because she's this person's daughter. Let's not lie. niggas date up all the time, right?
So niggas date up. See,
they don't want, nobody want to marry broke girls.
I'm not trying to get down at
They're
Lagos.
not.
The men existing
Abuja, Lagos. Abuja is even worse. Abuja men, their starter pack is not for here.
I haven't experienced.
I've never, but I also hear crazy
before.
stories. But then these niggas are quick. I mean, I don't like to use the N words. I'll say this, some of these men, they are so selfish about their goals and their dreams. They marry up.
They're
even
very
men
focused.
in the industry we're in.
Yeah.
They don't even want to play. Do you understand? When they want to settle down, they're either picking girls who have double citizenship, picking girls who come from really good homes, and there's nothing wrong with that. Let's be real. As a human being, if my brother came home right now and he gave me 3 options and he says, I'm dating one girl who sells pepper, there's another one who's still struggling, and there's one whose father owns a telecoms company. Even if I want to say I believe in love, as I'm praying, if I'm like, Father, please, can the love just enter with the one with the telecoms? So it's normal. But I'm not knocking any man's hustle.
Yeah.
Let's just recognize the game as the game.
Yeah,
and
the game
not
is the
judge
game.
one gender for the same
My
thing that we're doing.
2025 motto is everybody knows what they're doing.
Do you understand?
Because really, everybody knows what they're doing. Like I tell young girls, please focus on yourself. Because these men, they are very focused.
Yeah.
See, no matter how much you hear, I love you, I love you, I love you, a man is very focused. He knows exactly where he's headed. You are just part of the journey. And if at some point he feels like, you're not aligning with that journey, he will.
And when they leave, they never turn back.
Well, sometimes, thank God, there are some women that are self-aware that there are women like us that walk away, and it's not the other way around, Because
I just find
for
it
me,
really, really...
I won't wait until you leave me. I'm like that too. Once I see the signs are always there. They're always glaring. Once I see the signs, I take my legs and I leave.
I think so too. I think, and it takes a level of self-awareness to be able to tell yourself the truth.
Yeah.
Like literally sit back and say to yourself, okay, this is not going anywhere. I fucked up. I ignored these signs. I forgive myself and I'm moving forward.
And it's not even a blame thing, though. It's not like you're blaming the guy, because it's you getting to a place where you can just evaluate the whole relationship. You can call out yourself, call the person out, see if, and that's something my dad used to always tell us. He'll say, whatever doesn't change in a relationship will only get worse in a marriage. So it doesn't get better, it gets worse. So you have to always make sure that whatever it is that you think is a serious red flag can be addressed. And if you know it can't be addressed, then you walk away.
Oh my God, you said so many things now in terms of like calling out yourself.
Yeah.
I'm
like that too. I'm that kind of
swallow.
person. Before I even tell you I'll tell you what me I've done. Because you can't shame the shameless.
That we're just missing. I'm hearing myself speak.
I will never report another. I will report myself first. I will tell you this is the thing that I have done that I think in the relationship is the problem. But then this is the other side too.
Yeah.
And then by the time we look at everything, sometimes when you actually put everything on the table, you realize that, no offense, you are really not mad. Because sometimes men can make you mad. Literally. Like,
there are women in Arrow today. We asked how they got there. Do you know what Arrow is?
No.
You don't know what Arrow is?
What's
a place in Yaba. Do you know what Yaba
is it that Yaba left thing? I always see it on Twitter when people say Arrow.
There are women.
So
in
that's
Arrow.
like psychiatric home now. It's possible. It's very possible. Let me tell you, there's something a man will do. You will sit. When you reason the thing, it's not your head will want to knock like Then sometimes you will, it's very possible. I promise you.
I definitely
It's very
agree.
possible.
I'm trying to think about some things I've done in the name of love.
It takes a lot of emotional strength, not even intelligence, for you to be able to move past or handle like emotional situations with grace. Because it can mess you up. You can see a woman that is so focused, has a career going, and then one small relationship will just come and scatter everything.
I hate when that happens. I hate when it seems like women are letting go of their dreams. And sometimes it's hard to
But it happens all the time.
It's hard to have those conversations with them.
It happens all the time.
Like we see the signs as it's happening, and it's almost like, how is it that when we are born, we have our brains together, you just talk about being brilliant, you make the right decisions, and one day somebody walks into your life and your brain goes on holiday.
It's love. Love can make you do stupid things. Love can put
What's
you
the most
in a
stupid
place.
thing you've ever done for love?
Me, I can be shameless when I'm in love. At least I'll tell you the truth. Like, I'm a lover girl through and through. So I'm the kind of person that I hold on until I let go. I would do everything humanly possible because that's how I grew up. So I come from extreme monogamy. A family where you could see my parents now having an argument, they go inside, come out, they're already laughing. Like, whatever they do, they are like...
They are one.
They have to walk through it, you know? So that's what I always want for myself. So I apply that in all my relationships. But I'm learning the hard way that it's not in all relationships you actually apply that method until you're sure that it's going to lead somewhere. If not, it's pointless.
Yeah.
So I'm someone that I don't mind being the bigger person. I don't mind saying sorry. I don't mind. And I'm very heavy on forgiveness. Because I tell people, you can't have a lasting marriage if you cannot forgive. It's as simple as that.
But I mean,
there's no
forgiveness.
perfect...
Do you not draw the line? Is there anything that... I mean, you can't forgive someone for committing murder.
No. I mean, no, that one's different. Yeah. That's totally different. But I mean, there's some small, tiny things that, for me, I give people a lot of grace because I want people to give me grace too. And I'm very heavy on honesty because I grew up like that. My mom would say, even if you take this shoe or you take this thing, once you see me, come and report yourself and tell me this is what you have done. And guess the crazy thing, once you do that, there's no punishment. You actually get away with it. So I grew up like that. So for me, it's like if you can come to me and say, oh, babe, this, give me that room to sit with myself and say, oh, how am I going to process this? Can I live with this? But if I can't, then I'll be vocal about it. But if I can, I can move past it. There's some things for me, I feel like they're inevitable and they're recurring, you know.
When you say things, it's like we're putting like a bracket
You
around
want
us.
me to
So I want to ask, for instance, like
pinpoint it.
cheating. Is cheating a deal breaker for you?
Have I forgiven a cheating partner before? I'm not going to sit here and lie. Yes, I have.
Okay.
So, will I say it's a deal
Did it get
breaker?
better or did it get worse?
Well, it got worse.
Okay.
And I think that's the learning moment for me to realize that, okay, if you do this once, it's only going to happen again.
There are people
right?
who can argue and say people change.
No, I also agree that people can change.
Okay.
But you see, the problem is it's you. If you want to put yourself in that situation of believing someone can change, it's taking a risk. It's taking a huge risk, and not on the person, on yourself, on your own time. Because what if the person doesn't actually change? What if they just get better at lying? And what if they just get better at hiding stuff and you don't get to find out because now you've taught them how to be a better liar?
Damn, Beauty. That's a lot of things you just said. So it's basically a risk on you.
Yeah.
And I also think that people only change for themselves. I don't think they change.
They never
because of
change for
you.
the next person. They have to get to a point. I feel like people only change when something traumatic really happens, something life-changing happens to them, or maybe they lose something or someone. And, you know, I tell people, women, we are very in touch with our emotions. As things are happening, we are in touch in that very moment. You see, men are not in touch. A man can realize his mistakes 1 year later.
Damn.
5 years later. That's why we can have an Ashanti and Nelly.
And he was lucky that when he wanted to come back, she was also single and available, because there are many
Exactly.
men who might have wanted to spin the block and the girl is married to somebody else.
But with her, we clearly saw that after all of that, she just started living and enjoying herself and becoming the best version of herself. She was glowing. She has been. She's still glowing. And you see, one thing my mom would say is men love shiny things. So when you see them cry and wallow you're only doing yourself a disservice. You have to get back out there and continue doing whatever it is that you're doing and keep shining, because later on when they look around, nothing has changed about you. You're still who you are. Nothing has actually changed. Sometimes with the guy itself, like I said, it can take 1 year in terms of maybe they will leave you thinking they're going for someone better. And when that person now shows them shaggy, they begin to compare. That's when they begin to see the traits and they see that, oh, this person was a more better person, but then I messed up. And guys are the kind of people that when they know they mess up, unlike women that we like to fix. Women are fixers. A lot of women are fixers. Instead of fixing things, they would wallow in that place and just be going through it. Like a man can have a good ground to fix something in a week, but he would rather wait a month.
I don't know why. And this also makes me believe that saying, how a lot of people are married to people, but their soulmates are walking around.
Yes, 100%.
Maybe not marry somebody else's soulmate, because I imagine married to a guy who's trying to fix things with his ex.
I don't even take... or a guy that is still in love with his ex. That's the worst though. There's nothing you can do in this life that he will be happy with you. There's nothing.
Sure.
There's nothing you want to do. There's nothing you want to do in this life that he'll be happy with you. It's a thing. It happens all the time. It happens
honestly,
all the time.
Do you see why I don't want any talking stage? Do you see why now?
Talking stages are stressful.
I'm so scared of people.
I think for me now, I'm just in a place where, okay, I will even say now, with my current life, presently where I am. Like, there's this guy that has been bringing big energy, like, I like you, all of that. He calls me crushing on you. So I was like, okay, fine, let's see. Now, the first time I'm seeing you, you're coming like a tiger, like you want to eat me. That's already a turn off. Because I'm not even that type of lady. I like it when a man gives me room. I want to be the one to come to you like, oh, I like you, I want this.
I don't think I can ever tell a man I like him.
Not like, I won't say it first, but me, I'm heavy on actions. If I like you, you'll know, because I begin to make time for you. It's okay, I don't have time for any man in this day, because the way you see me, do you know how many dinner dates, lunch dates, breakfast dates I'm always saying no to? Almost every other day. I'm always like, oh, I'm busy. I've had someone say, you are the busiest woman. I'm like, yes, it's okay.
And guess what I'm busy doing? Watching Netflix.
I'm just in my house doing absolutely nothing.
I love leaving you on and saying I'll come at 5 o'clock. I'm like, hey, sorry, something came up.
To be honest with you,
my mask.
I would rather be there than sitting in a place where we're just talking about.
Do you know how
annoying? Yes. Like, yes. What's your favorite food? No, I don't want to have those conversations.
I want to go on a date where you tell me your demons on our first dates.
Because that's the kind of person I am. I'm an oversharer. I'm learning now to keep things to myself. I'm the kind of babe that can meet you today and tell you about my whole life in 10 minutes. Because really, I'm an open book. I've always been an open book. Like, I'm straight like that. I don't have time for games. That's why I tell, like, if I'm dating you and I see that you're playing games, I say, we're not in a football pitch. Okay, I'm out. Because I don't play games. Like, what part of me do you think is ready to play games with you? I mean, I'm too serious, even with my own life, for you to come in and want to mess me up playing games. I don't do all of that.
And I hate when a man sees a girl who is literally living in her truth and her purpose and doing shit by herself. If you know you have nothing to add to what she's got going on, don't bother her. Admire from afar. She won't kill
understand.
You. There's no need for you to try and disturb her peace by trying to promise what you know is not going anywhere.
That's what I hate. I hate when you promise me something unprovoked.
I can't stand
I'll be sitting on my
get a lot
own.
of that. I find that men build castles in the wind when they're talking to me. It's like they feel like for me to be talking to Toke, I have to say this.
Or is it the ones that come with empty promises just because they think that's the way to get my attention?
You sit down with someone and just say, I know this, I have this. And you're like, I didn't ask you, brother. What do I want to do with what you have? Like, sometimes I just really just want to be your friend.
No offense, really what you have that I don't have, we're not talking. No. Until I have it, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't understand. No,
I don't even care. Like, it's not that deep. It's just like, I went to someone's house one time. Tell me why this guy was just trying to show up. I was just mad. I was just like, I didn't come here for this. Like, I just want to have a normal. This is me just honoring you because you've been pushing and pushing and pushing.
Let's talk about the misconception about beautiful girls. Like, they always, and it's because of what you said that's leading me to that. You know, there's always this misconception or this perception, right, that fine girls have like truckloads of men.
Meanwhile, we're very single. We are single.
And it's not like there's
but
no...
we are single by choice.
By choice, right?
Yeah.
It's not like there are no men that catch our attention. But
no,
I feel
men
like,
mount. But we are
I feel
single
like
by
we're
choice.
just... You'll be out there looking at this girl. You'll be able to approach her because in your head you think, oh, she has different men talking to her. And 8 o'clock, she's in bed, literally flicking her channel because it's not like there are no men. It's just like the quality of men that are trying to hold her are men that she don't like. You know what I mean? Like, if I meet someone, like you said, who is constantly trying to show off, it's my biggest turn off.
It's an ick. It's an automatic ick for me. Like, I don't
especially as you said, are you giving me the Rolls Royce? So why are you showing me which Rolls Royce you bought in 1 year? Please, I don't understand. Are you buying me the watch? So why are you telling me about your watch that is this dial?
You're one of one.
One of one. Only 7 people have it in the world. Am I the 8th?
We're together. How do you know?
Maybe it's the same guy. Hey! Because these men, that's how they are. One of one, number 7 in the world. Probably is the same guy.
So bad, no, yeah. This one, it will shook. It's not shake, it will shook the internet. They're not gonna breathe. My dear, we've seen a lot. And I think that's why a lot of beautiful girls rather stay by themselves than spend their time unnecessarily. That's how I see it. Like, I'm happy by myself. So why should I leave my comfort zone, my beautiful house, and, just my own world that I've built and come into your world when I know it's bullshit? And I think another thing a lot of men don't know is our dating experiences, except you don't want to move forward in life. I feel like every relationship should be like a learning curve for you, right?
Yeah.
If you've dated a certain type of person, I don't know about others, but me, once I see that kind of person in another person,
even if you style it, I can see
sniff
it.
you. If you like, designer it. And I can just
clock abort mission.
There's something I want to say. Like, sometimes even the kind of man you date will not make some type of people in that same category think that they have the audacity to want to come and talk to you. And in my head, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No.
I want to even break, last year or 2 years ago, I said to myself, no more spec, no more I'm attracted to this.
I've never had a spec. I think that's
when
my
I say
biggest
spec,
problem.
I don't even mean physical. I mean, like, we at the end of the day, we have to have serious conversations with ourselves, as you said, in terms of calling ourselves out. There's a reason why you're attracting such people. It might be a character trait. It's not necessarily physical. It might be you have daddy issues. It might be that, you're looking for security in a man.
True.
Whatever the case is, as long as you can tell yourself the truth, call out yourself and say, I am not going to date men who represent this to me anymore because I've realized that I'm trying to fill a void. Yeah. Sometimes we don't even know. Yeah. Sometimes we take it as, that's just how I am. Yeah. I'm just attracted to men.
I used to be like that, actually. But I'm learning because I used to like to be with men that I feel like, we have to always grow together and do things together. But now I'm realizing it doesn't always have to be like that.
You lost me on that one.
Yes, now.
Like growing with a man. What does that mean? Wait, but how old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay, you have enough time. You can.
What do you mean?
I feel like in your 20s, it's okay for you to say what you said. It's blessed.
To grow
it's
a
like,
bit. No, but that's what I'm saying. The mentality is changing now because after
take your time. You still have like some 3 years to grow with a man. When you're in that 30 and the vision has not visualized. You don't have. You have
that thing you just said. The vision has not visualized.
No.
It's deep, but we're laughing, but it's not funny.
Yes,
we're laughing,
because they will sell you a dream.
True.
A dream. True. I'm a personal believer of, it's different at 27. Not many 27-year-olds are as accomplished as you are.
Yeah.
So that's why I said you still have some time.
Yeah.
Some 27-year-olds haven't established businesses or haven't
some
built
haven't
personal
even had
brands.
one relationship.
Do you know
yet.
what I mean? No, just even in terms of like you've built a personal brand. You were Miss Nigeria. You built a name and for yourself. Not many 27, and that's not the norm, right?
Yeah.
So I like to give people room to grow. I'm a believer of growth. At 23, at 25, at 27, I don't think you looking for a billionaire. I think it's a complete waste of time. You'll be open to facing abuse because you haven't developed mentally yet, even financially.
It'll just be grooming.
You know what I mean? It's grooming. So for me, I personally agree. That being said, I'm also a believer in even if you want to date someone to grow together, make sure that they are growing and you're not the only one rowing in the boat. That's just it.
100%.
Because a lot of people will say we're growing together, but you're the one
not
rowing.
growing. It's only that person that's growing.
Yeah, he's laying in the boat and you're
at
the
the back seat. You're the passenger seat.
Yeah.
And you don't even realize time is going.
No.
and stuff like that.
I don't think young girls should burden themselves like that. I feel like this is the time for you to enjoy, to go out, to to see the world, and having to mother a guy is not one of the things that you called for. Because let me even take it to the Holy Book. Which woman in the Bible worked for a man? Because when men try to call me all sorts of names, I try to face them with facts.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think.
Rebecca? No. Isaac, they found Rebecca by a well, fetching water for her father. Listen, like, is it Esther?
No, Esther prayed and fasted.
Esther came into, no, she was a young virgin who was discovered and groomed for the king.
That's what I'm saying.
Is it Ruth? Ruth was helping her mother-in-law glean, and she found. So please show me one woman in the Bible whose mission is to, this man I must work for you. If you can't find,
but that's a valid point.
No,
and you know the funny thing is that when I go home, I'm actually gonna go look that up. I'm going
even
to check.
The woman that met the prophet Elijah when her son was dying called her husband foolish. The woman that ran with her son to say revive the son. I'm telling you, I'm here to find me a woman in the Bible who, and as much as God said we're helpmates, right?
Yeah.
Find me one woman in the Bible who was the one that was trying to make the man grow. I'm yet to find.
No, but what I mean by growing together is you could have your thing.
Yeah.
I could have my thing. But I say this because of where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
A lot of decisions I make, to be honest, comes from my foundation. And my foundation is my family.
Yeah.
My background. My parents grew together. My sister and her husband, the same thing. All my siblings, the same thing. So I've always wanted a man that, you're working hard, I'm working hard, and together it's going to be beautiful, grow that beautiful family. Just taking it easy, because I actually take my life very easy. That's what a lot of people don't know. You can't pressure me. The way you see me, you can't pressure me to do anything in this life at all. It's what I want to do that I will do. You can never. Someone has come to my house before and said, "Oh, looks at my clothes and said, why don't you have a Birkin?" I'm not joking, a real life story. And I looked and I was like, I don't understand. Like, are they sharing it? Show me where they are sharing it. Let me go and collect now. Or I should buy the one they are selling on the Ikoyi Road. Which one do you want? Like, how is that? So I'm someone that you can't pressure to do anything. So I like to take my time. Like, when I'm with a guy, I just want to meet you halfway. Like, I'm very heavy on the 50-50 thing. But
so
then,
would you go on a dinner date and split the bill?
Yeah, 100. I could do that. 100%. In fact, I like doing his or mine. So this week, you take care. Next week, I take you out. Like, I enjoy relationships like that. I feel like that's how we should be. But when you're dating the wrong people...
I'm sure people are laughing right now.
You know, when you're
in the studio, are laughing at me because they were like, would I take a guy out? I'm sure I can. Guys, it's not that bad.
You can.
Why are you shaking your head? Let me answer it this way.
And your answer, it's okay.
A man who is deserving.
Yeah.
I feel like a man who is...
Are you a gifter? You don't give gifts
too. I'm the gift. To who?
To your man now.
I don't understand. I'm his gift.
Come on, mentor me.
No, I lie. I mean, I bought a couple of gifts for men who were deserving. What I mean by deserving, like, I am the kind of girl who treats a king, who acts like a king.
No, which is...
If you're a king in my castle...
10%. Does it make sense?
What does that mean?
I mean, my God doesn't... He's not asking me for more than 10%. So why would anybody else ask me for more than 10%? So it's 10%. You understand what it means?
You spend 10% on them?
No, like, let me explain. If you do normal, 10%.
What does that mean?
If you dash me, for example, $1 million, 10%
of it you spend on him.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And there's nothing like in as much as we sit down here and talk about the bad sides, I have met and been blessed to meet some very beautiful men who have impacted my life in so many ways.
They're good men.
I'm just like, baby, I cannot wait to spoil you just because you are deserving. A man who prays on you, a man who asks, who cares. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It won't seem like 10% when you're doing it because you know that
you do it the whole of your heart.
And you know what's so sweet about those kind of guys? Even when you do it, in 3 days, it's almost like they reimburse you. And you're like, babe, you don't need to give it back to me. But they just find a way to be like, you don't have money, don't worry, just take.
You know, men don't know. The secret is make your woman happy and she will make you happier. Yeah. That's why married men the ones in happy homes will say a happy wife
It's
equals
a
to
happy life.
a happy
Yeah.
life, a happy home.
Yeah.
Because once a woman is happy, there's nothing she can do for you.
Yeah.
She'll give you her liver, her kidney,
I
her
agree.
heart self.
I
She may
definitely
even
agree.
mistakenly say remove the heart and put it there before she realizes
Yeah.
that she's about to die.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Yeah. No, but you're right. And I think that
so the
reason,
secret is just make her happy.
Yeah. The reason why I'll probably not be a gifter or not be that forthcoming with men is because I've also learned the hard way. When I was in uni, I spent my school fees taking a guy out. I did not know how I was going to pay that semester's fee. My parents gave me my school fees and it was his birthday.
And you spent it on...
Took him to an
Adam.
Italian restaurant in VI. Sat him there. As
When
he
you
was
passed that
ordering,
restaurant, how do you feel?
I remember. I was this young girl. As he was ordering, I didn't mind. Just order whatever you want. Money for my books.
Was he older?
Cash. 10 years or 12 years older than I was. I spent that money with this guy. Afterwards, went home and there was another girl in his house. So since then...
The same day?
My sister. The thing with my eye don't see.
Your mouth don't fit up. Even me, I'm just being dubious because these stories are wow.
Girl, that nigga it was his birthday. He had another babe at his house.
I've caught my ex with a woman, like naked, like they finished.
Girl, it happened to me too.
My story is on Joro. That's how I know that Joro does not lie. I'm not joking though.
You wrote it to Joro, the love doctor.
After this episode, I will show you. So I actually went to take time. I went to look for that 2000 and I saved it on Instagram. So it's on my saved. I have to go down.
You wrote it to him anonymous, right?
Yes, now because I couldn't tell my friends. I was crying by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote it to him anonymously, like, hi, Joro. You know how I did now, dear Joro. And I wrote my whole story. And I saw my own friends, they were there in the comments insulting me. I was just laughing. You know the funny thing is, that's what actually helped me get through the heartbreak. Anytime I want to cry, I'll go to the comments. I'll read how people were insulting me.
Isn't it funny how the most beautiful girls have the wildest stories to tell? People see us and think but the wildest stories to tell.
Wildest. You'll be shocked.
I've walked in on my man with
that's
a
the guy that
best
his brother snitched on now. So as a brother snitch, it's for me to respect myself.
You came to Lagos to
I
find
was still childish now. No, I was already in Lagos. I took my leg to the house to go and see for myself. And I saw now.
So what did you do?
I saw. What did I do? I left now. Same way I came, I left.
No, but you know, people always say, if I catch my man, I'll kill him, I'll beat him.
No,
I can put it to you.
I wasn't at that age.
No, let me even tell you something.
I'll kill you type of situation.
Listen, I can put it to you. There's nothing you would do.
Yeah, so you walk away.
You drink water. There's nothing. It's happened to me before.
But before I left, I actually poured myself like a small glass of whiskey and I just sipped it and I left. I mean,
when mine happened,
I needed that.
I think that I walked in on the both of them.
I needed a drink.
Wait. And then I suffered delayed reaction. I tell people this all the time. So I had this best friend, my best friend. We looked exactly alike. We wore each other's clothes. Like we were very, 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 very close in uni. And there was this guy who was the love of my life. And he used to, obviously we lived off campus. I caught her on top of him.
Oh Real my God, life that story. Kind of betrayal would
Girl, guess what? I even closed the door. You know when you open it, I say, sorry.
Should I tell you what I did?
I said sorry, and I closed the door on them. And I sat in the parlor, I was like, did I just see her on top of me?
You closed the door. Me, I turned lights from blue to white. I didn't wake up. In fact, to be honest, I switched off the lights. I turned it back again. He woke up, he saw me, but he went back to bed because, let's be real, he wasn't expecting me to be slamming at that door. So I feel like in his head, he probably thought
he was dreaming.
So it was when I switched it the third time. I now shouted his name.
If the girl was there, did she wake up?
She woke up now. She was scared because my hands were behind mine. So she thought maybe I was holding a knife. So I just told her, relax. I don't have a problem with you. Because that's the thing. I never have a problem with the girls. I can't have a problem with you. You don't owe me anything.
Oh my God.
The person that owes me loyalty is that man that is there sleeping and snoring. You don't owe me anything. I don't even know you. I don't know what he has probably said to you. And I always tell women, any woman believing a man, you're on your own. Men. Adam. You believe a man, you are on your own because men will tell you what you want to hear.
I find it very disrespectful
at all times.
For you to even defend.
They have scripts. Like they can tell 10 women the same thing.
Yeah.
A man can be in a serious relationship and come and meet you and say, that person,
I don't know her.
I don't know. It has even happened. Real life story, not even too long. After this, my breakup.
Told you did not know the girl.
someone that was liking me. We went out. I wanted to sit. My friend that we were there, she swapped. She now said, no, I should come out. The other, her friend should sit. So in my head, obviously, I'm a babe now. Put 2 and 2. Like
they're together.
He sent number through the back. And the first thing this guy would say is, he doesn't have anything to do with the babe. So I called my friend. I was like, see what this person is saying. And she was like, She couldn't believe it. Shout
out to Jackie Aina in LA. It happened to us. We went to eat at Noble. And when we were walking out of Noble, I think waiting for our coats or whatever. So we had seen this guy walked into Noble with this beautiful girl.
Yeah.
We noticed because the girl, I didn't notice the guy. I noticed the babe was bad. I like St. John. She was bad. So women, and Jackie looked at her. So the girl was bad, head to toe, nice. And then, so we were obviously waiting to get our coats and outside. I think she also, because Jackie was driving, she gave her car to the valet. So we're waiting for the driver. And this guy that came in with this bad babe ran outside, pulled up on us and started to ask me for my number. And I was like,
and he denied the babe.
I said, brother, me, I even spoke in my Nigerian accent. I was like, Jackie was just laughing.
It was required.
I was like, brother.
Because you were disappointed.
Brother, who is that girl that you carry? Is that not your girlfriend?
Is that not your babe?
No, I just want to holler at you a second. Like, I just think you're looking so bad. I just want to get your number. Of course, I did not give it to you. He said, I'm going to find you. I said, good luck finding me. You. Find me in Nigeria. Have you been to Nigeria before? I was so... And this is how, just to butcher your points, there was this girl I saw him with was 10 over 10. Me as a babe, I know I'm bad. I'm looking at the girl and I'm thinking...
There's a question I always ask, like, what do men want?
Girl, if you find that answer, let me know. On this International Women's Edition, we're asking, what do you really want?
What do men want?
She was a bad babe. I still remember. She looked nice. She dressed good. Her hair was laid, makeup on point. Nothing. I didn't even notice the guy. I noticed the girl.
Yeah.
And I looked at the guy and I thought, you literally left her in there. Maybe light that is going to the bathroom and you ran out.
Oh, that happens all the time now. You go, once they see you going to the bathroom.
May we never meet them, Father.
Amen. And even when we meet them, may we identify them and put them in the bin.
Imagine you praising a man and the people are just laughing in their comments and sharing it with their friends. Like, wasn't he with us last night dinner?
You say praising a man. Imagine you being with a man, but they are laughing at you at the back, that you are dating yourself.
Lord, have mercy. No, but that's why I always tell people that if you ever see me come out to defend a man publicly, my phone was stolen. I've been arrested. Something happened to me. I would never, like, I might not leave you. Like, recently seeing this case So the
thing is, I don't hate men, but I just want them to act right.
I'm not hating on them. I'm saying to you, like, we had the case with the senator and the thing happening in the Senate. His wife coming out to defend him. And there's also another notorious case about this businessman who's trying to shame this girl online about his baby. And the wives are coming out to defend their husbands.
I know what you're talking about.
always say, he who committed the crime or is guilty of the crime, because now in this case, innocent until proven guilty, right? Let him defend himself. You remember that case, I think it was in America, where the guy used to be a Christian or an author and used to talk about relationships so much and he ended up cheating and then put his wife looking crazy. And then she was wearing a helmet of salvation trying to defend the man and eventually they still divorced. So my thing is, I might not divorce my husband. Like, I'm telling you for real, like, if there's a scandal out there that he is involved in, let him sort it out. Yeah, you don't need me doing photo appearances with you or kissing you in public. I ain't gonna do that.
Learn to
and if I'm the one that went to cheat,
carry their cross.
And I'm being disgraced, I'm not going to put him through that.
Yeah.
If you want to stay with me, I'm thankful. But let me carry the cross. I brought you to our doorstep, right? Yeah. There's no need for you to now be showing up in pictures, kissing on me or coming out to defend me when at the end of the day. I just think that, again, this is part of what I say, that they give women too much work and the pressure. She's supposed to sit on top of the home, raise the kids. She's supposed to defend you. Yeah. She's supposed to be your lover, your homie, your wife, your listening ear. She has no break, right? She's tired, but she's supposed to still cater to you before she even thinks about herself. Like, when does a woman catch a break?
Never. Since the beginning of time, women have never had a break. And I don't think it will change anytime
And then the
soon.
sign of strong women that we've always seen growing up is a woman who is backing a child, carrying one in front and carrying something on her head.
No, but now we do see strong women, though. And I give them
No, but strong
props.
women who are soft. I believe in being soft but yet strong.
Yeah.
I don't believe in carrying the whole world on my head before I prove to you that I'm strong. Your test of or my ability or inability to be a strong woman to you as a man is not based on the amount of bullshit
I can
I'm allowed to take. Do you know what I mean?
Or the disrespect. Yeah. Let's call it what it is. The amount of disrespect.
And some of them, it's not even like we're bashing men. Some of them are actually ignorant. And I hope that if they watch this, you begin to learn. And I feel like there's a lot of learning that has to go into the subconscious, because a lot of people we're all victims of our own circumstance and where we're coming from, right?
True.
On this couch, you said things like, where I'm coming from. I am this because of where I'm coming from.
Everything I do, my whole life direction comes from my foundation. Like, it guides me. It's almost like the saying, never forget where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally...
So maybe some of us need to unlearn some
dear
practices.
To my heart, and I take it very seriously, because even when I talk to my parents, they'll say, regardless that you're out there, you're doing this, you're in the media, never forget where you're coming from.
So you're going to give us another ASAP Rihanna moment, even if it's with somebody else? Are we going to see you dating somebody?
Husband, even if let me tell you, okay, when I get married, people will see the man until I probably have one child.
I understand that. I really understand
I probably have one child, because...
Yeah.
It was exhausting, reading all the online comments and all those things. It was always exhausting, especially because 80% of what I read, you have no idea what is really going on.
Yeah.
You have no idea what is really going on in our reality. So what makes you think that you know? Or is it the made-up stories? Sometimes have you read something about you? I'd be like, when
girl, I'd be asking myself questions all the time.
And then we're processing it together, like, when did this one happen?
There was a time that I was convinced that when I'm asleep, my lady parts are in the streets working. Because of how I used to read about myself, I'm like, are you sure I didn't date this person?
Are you sure that I used to sleepwalk and I wouldn't know, and I would do makeup and I would It's just like how someone said they saw me somewhere one time. I was like, I've never met
this man before. I don't know who he is, but
you mean?
You swear with everything that I dated him. I'm like, maybe when I'm sleeping, something is working up. But I do, here's to a different year, because this is the start of the year, and I believe in manifestations, and I believe in, speaking your life into existence, and I believe that, regardless of what you've been through, I like the fact that you're still a believer of love.
Oh, I'll forever believe in love. I exude love. I accept love.
And light.
It's something. It's one of the affirmations that I actually speak to myself.
Do you do therapy?
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's going well. It's going.
I feel like when people say they're in therapy, people look at them like there's something wrong with them. But I think everybody needs therapy. If you're seeing this,
I think you need therapy. Everybody needs therapy. I feel like every Nigerian actually needs therapy.
I agree.
And it's not about relationships. It's just in fact, the whole country is enough for you to get therapy. I'm not even joking. Agree. So it's like you just need to baggage. Like, you need to just talk to somebody and look at things from your childhood up until where you are. Look at the traits, like, why are things happening the way they're happening. And that's where I'm at, really. Just going through the whole journey. I think it's actually one of the
healthiest. It's hard, but one of the healthiest things. Because I remember my first therapy session. I hated it. I just thought, this is so weird, like talking to this person.
Were you scared? Because I was scared.
Very scared.
I was scared to even talk.
Open up. It took me like 3 lessons because I didn't believe in it.
Yeah.
I did not believe in it. People have tried to get me to do therapy. A lot of I remember when I was married, my ex-husband wanted me to do therapy and I just never showed up. He showed up for the classes and I just didn't believe in it because I was just like, talking to a total stranger about what
I'm giving you my gist.
And
I'm so scared.
And I'm very scared of people, right?
Like, what if they talk?
So I didn't do that. But after a while, my coping mechanisms failed me.
Yeah.
And I was forced to now seek help.
You had to sit with your fears.
Yeah, and when I started therapy, it was the scariest journey, but the most rewarding journey.
Oh, it is amazing.
And I think that everyone should get on it. Like, even when you start having kids, when you start a new job, when something new, because as you said, there's certain things we bury deep in our hearts that therapy can trace down to situations, actual physical settings.
Like with me, I have trust issues. And that's because, my past relationships, I have been disappointed a lot, right? And it's like when you hold people to high expectations and then you just do something, you're just like, why? And most times it's so unnecessary. And the funny thing is that I'm not even the type of babe that leaves when you think you are doing the thing that you think will make me leave. I leave when you
don't even expect it. A broken glass can make me leave you.
I leave when you do the littlest things that no matter how I look at it just don't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you don't have any reason to. It's like, what possible reason can you give to me? And when I'm at that place, I just walk away because I'm like,
Yeah, our Kelly said it best. When a woman's fed up, she's fed up.
Right.
Because just like that, you mirror me. I'm that sort of person. I can take I have
can
a
take
long rope.
a lot too. I do take a lot. It's not even I have taken a lot.
And the day I leave you is
but never
something small.
again.
Maybe the way you just said good morning. I just look at you and just
Mine is not even the way. So I think one thing that triggers me is absence. I don't like absent people. Like you can't be with me and be absent. And I'll tell you why. Because I grew up in a lot of presence. Like my parents, they are there. I have an active, I know what it means to have like a present dad, a present mom, a present lover. So I can't deal with someone who's absent. I can't deal with someone who doesn't like confrontations and things like that. It can't work, you know, because...
Sometimes we shouldn't even call it confrontations, just honest conversations, right?
Thank you.
Like just...
Marriage, there are lots of conversations to be had. Even in parenting, there are lots of conversations to be had.
How important is it for you to date someone who... This is a risky question, but I'm going to ask it. People say that's why it's good to date in your circle or date in your class or date in your certain... Whatever that looks like to anyone. What I mean by that is people will say things like, you can't date someone you have nothing in common with. Right?
Yeah.
And I sometimes feel like the opposite should attract. I feel like if we're all dating our type and in our setting and in our class, then we're not leaving because we should be able to mix and match, right? I should be able to date somebody who will teach me something about where they're from. But I've often heard that it's very risky when you're trying to date somebody who does not share the same values, the same background.
I think it's 50-50 in terms of you could date someone in your field and it could work out amazingly well in terms of getting maybe more brand deals or getting bigger, more recognition, and you guys just are perfect, right? But it could also go sideways because...
Competition.
Yes. There could be silent competitions. There could be, doubt because they know about the industry and so they feel like everything you're doing is what they are doing, even though you're not doing it. Because that's another thing that happens a lot in relationships.
I've never dated someone in this field, in this entertainment industry.
Oh, okay.
So I wouldn't be able to share anything about...
No, but it can be beautiful. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it can be very beautiful in terms of helping each other grow because it's easy for you to get insights from your partner into like your brand. And then, you also give your own insights to your partner. But then it can also go south because too many opinions, less privacy. Like, do you know how many times you go out with your man and immediately people see you've not even sat cameras on your phone? Like they're putting cameras on your face, So it can be uncomfortable too. But I think ultimately, I'll say do what works for you. It's a 50-50.
Well, in your case, did the good outweigh the bad? Like, do you feel like your public relationships helped build your brand or did it take away from the brand?
My relationships can't take away from my brand. And I'll tell you why. Because my brand is very separate from my relationship. If I'm posting about love, I'm posting about love. But when I'm working, I'm working. Like, I don't really mix. Like, before I mix, it must be very important. So the cheddar, the money, it must be up there, to be honest, right? So for me, I was still Beauty Tukura. So whether or not that relationship ended or it didn't end, it wasn't going to take anything away from me. And but
will you be on a reality TV show with your partner? I don't know if I can do that,
Yeah, I can.
Really?
Yeah. As exes?
No, not new. I'm saying that if you dated someone tomorrow and there was an opportunity to do like a reality TV show.
Well, not all those shows where they say go and date other people.
I mean like both of you together. Like say you started in a guy called Mike and it's like the Beauty and Mike show. Would you do it?
I could.
Okay.
I could because... why not?
I just feel like sometimes I don't want cameras around me.
I could.
And I
don't mind a public relationship if there's respect. If you're not being embarrassing to your partner, it could be a beautiful relationship because that's just the offside of it, to be honest. It's just one person not embarrassing the other person. That's just it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This has been a very, very... I absolutely loved our sit down. I love how feminine you are and how you bask in your femininity. I think it's very important because people oftentimes relate femininity to, weakness. They think that when a woman is too feminine, it means she's so soft, she's so weak. But you can be brilliant. You can have strong boundaries. You can literally be confident without being intimidating, but yet still being the softest feminine side of you. And I think I want women to embrace, a lot of women, and I'm talking to women at home now, a lot of women, due to condition, due to where you're coming from, due to life circumstances, have been living in survival mode for so long.
Yeah.
They haven't been able to come up for air because they feel like they are the providers, they are the planners, they are the mothers, they are the supporters. Even in a marriage, they are feeling alone. A lot of people are married but are still lonely.
A lot of people feel lonely even in relationships.
Yeah. And they just feel like everything falls on them.
Yeah.
Without you knowing, masculine energy creeps in. Right? You now
begin to fight for your life.
Not even fight for your life. You just become the person that is used to not getting help, that you just don't even talk about it anymore.
Then you begin to even
partner.
block out help. Like, it took
help
me,
now
it took me
like
a long time
of weakness
for me to get comfortable with a man taking me out. Like, just go for dinner and just relax. I'll be taken care of, like Bessie would say, like, just
I'm
relax.
entering into that era.
It took me a long time because I'm so used to paying my bills. I take care of myself, my family. I do everything by myself. Like, I'm not going to anyone to hand me bills. Like I've never even gone to any woman to say, please come and show me the way or come and take. No, So it's just me on my drive, on my work all the time. So sometimes when you're that kind of person, it's hard for you to
ask for help.
Yes, or even open up or let someone else help you. Like my manager will always shout at me and say, Beauty, it's okay to let people help you. Yeah. Like it's okay for you to just sit back and let people do things for you. And that's the part of me I'm stepping into now. Like, just relax.
Yeah. But who would have thought we're so similar? Just hearing you is like literally listening to myself.
I'm always in my world.
Like, I'm always in my world. And just like you, I feel like I don't know how to ask for help. Like, I'm used to...
At all.
I'm used to hearing so many no's that now I don't even want to bother. Because starting out in this industry, you know how you say, can you help? And say, no, okay, let me just do it.
It's not even just the no, Seb. It's the fact that you could genuinely need something, but people just take those opportunities and see you as being vulnerable and want to take advantage of it.
Preach.
So you see, when situations like that happen a lot, you just close up.
You close up.
Yeah. And at some point, even if you have Elon Musk's number, like
you
and you
want
know
to
that
use it.
he has told you, I'm your person.
That happens.
You can
I
come
don't like to ask for help.
I will. Do you know? Time, it's better. That's when I would never.
I would grind my teeth.
I can be dying and I will not.
Because I always feel like I will always figure it out.
Yeah.
But now, and that's why it was important for me to sit with a lot of interesting women. Like I had my sisters on the show also this month.
Oh, that's nice.
It was very nice, just talking about our growing up and just exactly, and it was very interesting for me. Because when we did that show together on Channels TV, I saw it different because I didn't know you before and I didn't have any opinions because I didn't know you.
True.
But just to see how articulate you were and how you literally, are a girl's girl. You fight for women's rights.
Yeah,
you advocate for women.
I love women so much.
You made me say, you know what, I actually want to have a sit down with this person. But a lot of women are living in survival mode and we were not made for that. Somehow the wires were crossed, and I don't know when those wires were crossed. Women were made to be soft, and when I say soft, it's not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of living in your awareness but still being feminine, understanding your aura and basking in the essence of being a woman.
True.
Do you know what I mean? Without having, now it's as bad as being practical. For me, I say it, anything that has me raising my voice has to go. Person, people, places. I'm not doing it anymore.
Mine is ease. Now I'm choosing ease in my life.
Girl, if I have to repeat myself to you, you're never going to hear from me again.
It's not even that. Like, if I feel just a little bit stressed, there's no point.
There's no point.
I don't want, even down to meetings, like I had to tell my driver, like, we're not rushing anywhere.
I arrive when I arrive.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
It's not that deep. So even I'm applying that to everything around me now, in friendships, in relationships, everything. I want ease. Like I'm choosing this. I've realized it's a personal decision. Before now, you could just be living life like trying to make other people happy and just and it just feels like every day is hectic.
It's a maze.
Every day is hectic. But when you begin to intentionally say, you know what, I want my life to be easy, and you make it easy too. Before I used to be a late riser, like I'm not a morning person, but now all that has changed. I'm a morning person. I'm an early riser.
And it happens on your terms.
Yeah, because I'm choosing ease. I want to wake up early. I don't want to rush into the bathroom, rush out. Like I want to do things gently and still get things done and just be happy and be me and just be in my energy and just, enjoy myself. That's where my head is at. I'm telling you.
I love it for you, girl.
Thank
now,
you.
let's do something interesting to end the show.
Okay.
So we both are going to share things that we're not going to be doing anymore. And hopefully the women can take on the trend.
Okay.
So I said, if I have to raise my voice to be heard, you're not hearing from me anymore.
What's one thing
The ease. You talked about ease too.
Okay, if you're not making my life easy, you're not hearing from me anymore.
Hey, preach that one. That's a lie. So number 3 for me would be if it comes down to you having to choose between me and somebody else, please choose her. Thank you.
Okay, then I'm gonna say this one. If you can't show love in conflict, then you're not the one for me.
If every time I speak to you or I hang around you, I leave feeling like I am drained and depleted, you're not going to hear from me anymore, love.
If you don't like to address issues and communicate and understand that two truths can exist, you can be right, I can be right, or you can be wrong, I can be wrong, and just find a balance, you're not the one for me.
If you think I am a rehabilitation center for badly behaved people, please delete my number right now. As you're talking, delete. Don't call Jesus.
Amen. Amen.
I don't want it anymore.
What's going to be my last one? Let me think. Because really, I think by myself I'm a bit overbent right now.
This is a cry for help. SOS. Please leave me alone.
If you're not going to treat me like the queen,
Preach.
that I know and treat myself, that I am, please delete my number.
Honestly, she said what I wanted to say. And I end on that note. If you're not bringing princess treatment, if you're not listening to us, praying for us, supporting us,
if you're not supporting
and
my
just
dreams,
trying to make what is already good better, I'm going to wear my glasses to sign out, please.
I wear mine with you.
I'm not the one for you. And this is also not just in relationships alone, no. Girl, this is for friendships, work associations. If it's a brand that's going to stress my life, please don't call me. I don't want.
Please, I second the motion.
Because there's the kind of money that you have to say no to because they would take
money
your
that you want. Is it just your son? You want to take your whole life? Collect the whole page. Collect.
Girl, we're tired. Not doing that shit no more. And on that note, I hope you guys have had an incredible month with us. It's been our International Women's Month special. And I actually like that I did things differently this month. I like that people that I never thought, I sat with someone I just learned so much just sitting with you and just learning so much even about myself. So thanks for making out the time and good luck on everything.
Thank you.
And you deserve happiness. I hope you always choose you.
Yes.
Girl, because I didn't want to delve into whatever happened in that relationship. Because whatever happened,
I wasn't even speaking. So I don't want them to think everything I'm saying is about
that. Of course.
So I'm just talking based on my experiences, with other relationships.
Yeah, and it's nice for you're young. You have the world ahead of you.
I'm still very young and beautiful.
So just love on you, girl, because nobody's gonna love you as much as you. The best relationship one can ever have is one with yourself.
True.
It just never quits on you.
And that's why I'm learning to travel. Before to travel, I always felt like it was so hectic. Why do I have to go all the way? But these days, my bag is packed.
Let me share what I did in January. Okay. I went to Paris by myself.
I went to Paris in February.
4 days. And it was the most beautiful thing. Because I was always worried about traveling alone a while back. And I started traveling by myself 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Where a friend and I we wanted to go to the Maldives or go to somewhere. And I just thought, no, I want to start earlier. I had a script to read. And I took that train to Paris, lodged in a beautiful hotel. 2 a.m. in the morning, I'm walking on Champs-Élysées, just taking walks, reading a book, sitting in cafes.
I want to go back.
People watching. And I went to literally...
And it's a beautiful city. I promise you forget about all your problems.
I went to Moulin Rouge by myself. I took myself to Moulin Rouge.
You just sitting there.
I bought a boot by myself, had the champagne, and it was beautiful.
I spent Valentine's in Paris by myself.
Really?
Yeah, and it was amazing.
How was that?
It was amazing. To be honest,
don't be afraid
I just thought
to do
about it. I was like, you know what, you're single and there's nothing here for you. So why not go to the city of love and experience love through other people? And that's what I did.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
And I hope the women at home or men also be inspired to, because sometimes we're so scared to be alone and spend time with ourselves, and you can't run away from you.
Yeah.
Once you bite that bullet and you can do it, you really realize that it also gives you confidence. The boost comes from nowhere. At Moulin Rouge, people were surprised. Like a bridal group, there was someone's bridal shower, and she and her friends came, and their cabin was too small, and I shared mine with them. And they were surprised I was alone. We drank all the champagne. We didn't even swap numbers. We entertained ourselves with the show, laughed, kicked. At the end of the day, everybody goes, you get into your car, drive by, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Also in that hall, there's
Those
no
are the
network.
most memorable
I remember it because there was no network. So I couldn't even text with anyone. So as you enter that place, next 3-4 hours, first dinner and then the show.
Sure.
You're there till 11 p.m. by yourself. Your driver is outside. You come out and you go home. Beautiful. I'll do it again.
I'll do it again and again and again.
I love you all. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you on the next episode of TokeMoments. Mwah.